Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
Welcome to the PO Show here in Hollywood, California. Did I jumped the gun? I didn't see me there. Anyway, thank you all for listening. The PO Show, Polina HRyn Show, short version, the PO Show, faux show. I'm so glad you're tuning in. Okay, we've had some exciting shows lately, right? You guys saw the Lobros last weekend and James Baloo, like the big bear. That's the only way I remember his name. JB, street artist. Okay, so last night I went to Vitality and Verve. I could not get in. This was at the Long Beach Museum, Long Beach. Okay, this was weird, and this is what we talked about last weekend, was the strange merger that's going on between the museum and street art. Is that weird to anybody but me? It seems like the biggest oxymoron, which that's like a oxymoron. Anyway, so I really wanted to go here and support all of these amazing artists that I've met in the last couple months, I would say. And I couldn't get in. I could not even get in the museum. The line was blocks down the road. It was absolutely incredible. I couldn't even imagine. It was the hugest opening I think I've seen in a very long time, and these are street artists at the Long Beach Museum, so this is super cool. If you guys get a chance, that was the opening, and it was called, what was it called, Late Night or something like that. If you guys get a chance, definitely check that out. It's going on for the next 3 months. So the street artists, I think there's 15 of them or something, and some of them have been on this show. They basically painted the walls of the inside of the Long Beach Museum. Not only that, powwow's going on also, and I can't remember how long that's going on. I think 3 months or something. But they're actually forever more. But they're painting for the next week. And powwow is they're picking these walls from in Long Beach, and they're painting these murals on them. So there's a bunch of that going on too. And powwow, I'm not sure if they have an opening for that. I'll let you know next week though, for sure. Or not next week, because we'll be closed. Week after that. Anyway, absolutely amazing. Keep your eye on the street artists, especially Berlin, London, LA is getting bigger than ever. This is an amazing thing that's going on. It's bringing in commerce to these commercial properties. Many of these are so ultra talented. It's mind-blowing. So check it out. Also, I have to do all of this because these guys are super great. Okay, Findak, this was amazing. Cave Gallery, I'm going to keep supporting him. Cave Gallery, his opening was a couple weeks ago. It's still going on. If you get a chance, go to Cave Gallery, check out his work. I wish I had the photo of the piece that he just finished in Brooklyn, but he's just amazing. He is Irish born, lives in London, great street artist or urban artist, muralist, whatever you want to call him. The Lobros, Wasted Youth, still going on. Just had their opening last weekend. They were on last weekend's show. Check them out. They will be at Think Space Gallery for, I think that show goes on for, let's see what it says, till July 11th. So you have some time, so check it out. Okay, so there's all of that. Exhausting, but so worth it. Okay, so now we're taking it from the streets to Shakespeare. And kind of back to London, because I was actually at this London college in Shakespeare. I was thinking of this man here, John Abbott Gardiner. And who are you again? You are an amazing poet. You are a stage actor and a Shakespearean guru and such a playboy. You're at a loss. Who are you again?
I'm Professor Horatio.
No,
Ulysses
I did not invite you
Pomegranate.
onto the show. I did not invite you.
I'm here at the behest of Sir John Abbott Gardiner.
You have no
who's
reason to be here on my show.
starring in Cymbeline in the outskirts of London, even as we speak.
I'm delighted to be here.
Can you pronounce
Hi, my
the K?
sweetheart.
Can you pronounce the K one more time? That was it. That was all.
How about that?
I did not invite Woody either.
You know what I've been waiting to do? I wanted to
You
get you
didn't
to do
invite
it
a whole
right
bunch
away.
of people that are going to show up today, so I suggest that you
We
just
talked
settle
about this,
in
Paulina.
and let
she
it roll.
wanted all the table filled. I
Just
told you that
settle in and let it
schizophrenia
roll.
is easy, but multiphrenia
Yeah.
is much more interesting.
Yeah.
I brought 6
It's
or
not
7
difficult
of my
for you, though.
personalities.
It's not difficult for
Stephen,
you.
stop it. Sorry, it was just one of the people I didn't invite.
He prefers-
Robert, behave yourself.
He prefers
Sorry.
Stevie and Bob.
How you don't know my various personas that live inside my head, Paulina.
I do.
And we may not
I
want
actually
to.
do.
I'm delighted to be here. How are you, my darling?
I'm fantastic. Okay, one more thing I want to tell them.
Okay. I'm only being filmed the back of my head because it's the most attractive side. Is
Well,
that correct?
Your head looks really great in the back. You look really great from the back. Okay, so this guy's kind of special. His most special attribute is that he was my co-host or host, I would say, on
Co-host.
Spoken Word, Spoken Song. So we can, him more than I, but he can actually speak well and write well. I can speak okay and write fairly well, but not on alcohol, which I am on now.
That's okay. Can I segue into something
Segue.
from you were talking about the Long Beach Museum of Art.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Well, and having and blending with street art. One of the things that Polina Heron did on the show that
Who?
we did, you, Po. Well, I just now call you Popo. Or
Some people call me Po the
or
Ho,
Po
and
Show.
that's all of those are not true.
The
all
thing
of
that
those
you
rumors.
reminded me of constantly about the arts, we were doing spoken word, spoken song, but we talked about photographers, we talked about
Yeah.
painters, we talked about dancers,
Yeah.
we talked about Shakespeareans, regular actors, poets, writers, the entire spectrum of artists. I see that in Long Beach and in L.A. More and more. You came by the poetry reading I did at Gatsby's book.
Gatsby's
I have
books.
not seen a standing room only for a fairly large poetry
That
reading.
was great.
And not all of them were poets. Some of them came in just to hear words, to hear good language. That's
To
exciting.
hear
That-
your words.
Oh, of course, but I'd like to show that I'm rather self-effacing beneath all of it.
Oh, if you keep this up, it's going to be
Okay.
unbearable by the end of the day.
Please introduce Carrie.
Who?
I'm so used to this.
Oh my gosh! Because
This-
you've shared the stage with this man.
Yeah, I have.
Yes,
I
you
have.
have.
What was
shared the
that like?
stage, and I want to go on record as saying that is the only thing I have shared with him, other than maybe a drink or something. Other than that, the rumors aren't true.
No, that's not quite true.
See,
She-
rumors. What about the rumors?
She has shared even the most lurid details of her sex life. And I mean to the extent where nothing was left in my imagination. And
Yeah.
with that being said, I'd like to introduce her.
Oh my
Can we
gosh.
find? Are there any lurid details? I can't remember.
I do, Carrie. I'll remind you of them, okay? Carrie Pohlhammer. Not only one of the nicest people, and truly one of the most modest people,
Yes. Way
and,
too
and,
much.
and an
Wow.
unbelievably good actress. And she
gonna have
actually
to pay
does
him
more. She
more.
actually does. I'm a stage actor. Carrie can do stage, screen, or television. She can do it all.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. I've seen her on stage.
Yeah, you've seen her
and,
on stage.
before I
But
knew her.
Stage is my.
Okay, you know what?
Preferred medium?
I actually had stage as opposed to film. Let's talk about it. I want to know because I don't know. I've not done either one.
Do you mind if I say something first?
Well, I expect that you'll say something first.
And do you mind if I say several
is that
things
is that
after I
really
finish
a
saying-
question? I mean,
I've got about
do I
an
have a
hour
choice?
now.
I
What
don't
is
think
the
I have a
question?
choice. Yeah.
This is for both
What
of
was the
us.
question again?
I've done industrial films or a little bit of TV stuff or even a little bit of soap opera. The first thing they said to me.
Soap
going on-
opera?
Yeah, yep, done them. The first thing they say
Well,
is,
we have modern day
down,
soap opera, you know,
down,
like Welcome to
down,
Reality
boy,
TV.
Down, boy. You don't need the big fill up the outdoor amphitheater without a mic voice, and you don't need a big. Then on television it has to be this. Carrie, I heard about last night. No, that was too loud, Mr. Gardiner. Carrie, I heard about. That's too much emotion in your face.
Really?
So,
Oh, my
Carrie, I heard about last night. It was terrible.
Perfect. It's a cut.
Perfect. That's a cut. Whereas stage,
Oh my God! Yeah, no, it's
yeah,
very
it's a matter
dramatic.
of scale, right? So in film and TV, you're always, as a stage actor, if that's how you're trained, if that's your first love, you're always being asked to bring it down, make it smaller, bring it in, make it more intimate.
Oh, if
You know, on film and TV, you have to, because as a stage actor, you're trained to
make
play
it big.
play to the back of the house, and the house can be 50 people, or it could be, you know, a few hundred people,
you know
or
what?
a few thousand
What's
people.
interesting? That's what makes it so great. But there's a difference. See, I don't want to see that kind of drama on the screen.
Right.
I don't want
No,
to
you
see.
don't.
If
It just
I'm
looks
in an
weird.
audience, it looks weird. Like,
Just looks weird.
and I don't know about Tom Cruise, but he I mean, probably not now, but in the beginning, he was way too dramatic for me. I don't know if was he a stage actor?
No.
I have no
I'd
idea.
be very
I don't think
surprised.
So,
No,
I'm
but
not sure.
I was just like, oh my God, tone it down. He's better now.
But
He's
there's some
different.
amazing actors who started, and actresses. I like to use both terms, whether that's politically correct or not. I like to differentiate myself as an actress, not just lump it in as a generic actor.
Yeah. Because you don't have a
but-
penis.
But exactly.
But that's
not last
fine.
time I checked. So
Have you checked since you've been in this?
well,
in
no.
This room?
I think
let's all check.
Ooh,
Okay,
I think
no.
still,
Fever
still
shot.
no penis.
Mine is very small.
Well, you know, size matters. So
We're not in air.
We
right,
haven't even
Jer?
started yet,
Jake?
Paulina.
Jer.
Thank goodness
Sure.
for that. This could be the
So
beginning
you were
of the
saying,
end.
So we're at the
I'm
middle
just
of the
saying,
end at
there's
this
some
point.
amazing actors who started, or who are classically trained, started in, I mean, Meryl Streep and Robert De Niro
God.
and
Kevin
Al
Kline,
Pacino
yeah, just-
and Kevin Kline and, you know, some of my absolute faves.
Those are stage actors?
Oh, that's where they started. That's where they got their start.
and it's where they return.
Well, I
Quite
think
often.
honestly, I think you have to have that, but you can't keep you can't. Like you said, I think it is definitely different in screen. We're going to take a break. Let's take a break because this is going to be a chance to take a break, and then we're not going to have another one for a while. Welcome back to the PO Show, Hollywood, California, on this fine Saturday. There was this crazy parade. Did you see that parade, Jake? Was it hard? When did that start? Was it hard for you to get in here? That was on Hollywood Boulevard?
Yeah, I was coming in at like noon, and it was already going. It's some Brazilian pride thing is what it was supposed to start out as.
I would have liked
But
to
now
go there.
it has turned into a gay pride for the passing of for the passing of like gay marriage yesterday across the country.
Okay, that's
it
a great
now turned
segue.
into a big party.
Okay, let's talk about that. You wanted to talk about that subject and how you can integrate it into Shakespeare.
No,
Let's do it.
I was the one who
Okay.
said maybe.
Okay,
we could
Carrie, you're
integrate
on
those
then.
two. I don't know how to integrate those two.
Come
Well,
on, you can
know,
help her.
Shakespeare has lots
I
of.
do have one thing to say
Of
about
course,
it.
you have something to say about it.
Well, we both have been in theater our whole lives.
Theater.
Theater. Well,
Are you
I mean,
talking about theater?
Well, it's and
Theater.
for both of us. I think
Theater.
I
Oh,
can speak for
excuse
Carrie. To our gay friends, we did. I mean, I'm older than she is. I haven't thought anything about a person
You're
glad
way
you
older than
admitted
she
that.
is.
for 45 years. It was no big deal. And in fact, my gay
Oh, and
friends
yeah. Let's talk about
got
that.
me more girlfriends than any of my straight
You can say pussy
male.
if you want.
They got me. Well, I had to get the pussy. They could only take me halfway there.
Well, that's halfway is a
halfway.
long way.
Well, they had no interest in going the other half of the way there.
Of course.
And so I say, hey, I salute you, my gay brothers.
And that was where?
That was everywhere I went.
Yeah, but you were in New York.
I was a professional hooker pretty much for many, many
Okay,
years.
let's talk
of my
about your
life.
New York days.
New York?
New York.
Yeah, I'm walking here, New York. Now, yeah, I was a professional stage actor for 8 years in New York. And having said that, you're supposed to say, oh, really? What restaurant did you work in?
Oh, really? What restaurant did you work in? But I already know that story. But yeah, tell us.
You mean about the brutality and the misery, the lonely nights?
Okay, so one thing you told me that yeah, most of the actors were gay, right?
No, not but most, but lots.
A
It's
lot
always
of them
been
were.
a place. Yeah.
So
that's-
it was a great opportunity for you.
You
with
get
the
cast in a
women.
show, and you get cast in New York, and you're on the road, right? And you're in a strange hotel in a strange town. You're excited about doing the show, and you really get a chance. And you're in the person next to you in the hotel is a really gorgeous actress. Now maybe she's got something going on in New York with a man, but you don't know. We're 1,000 miles away. We're doing Shakespeare in Maine or whatever. And so everybody's a little bit free, not married. And then, so she's going to look around and go, okay, that guy's gay, he's gay. They very quickly know who's not gay.
Okay, it's
And then
down
they
to you.
come knocking on my door. And who am I not to oblige a woman in need
You're just trying to help.
of a little shelter from the storm?
Yeah, you're such a great man.
I think I'm one of the most compassionate, thinking, feeling men I've ever known.
Yes.
I'm just trying to
Carrie's
keep my
gonna be
lunch
sick.
down. But don't worry
I
about
love
that.
you.
I'm just over here. Don't worry about it.
Would
Just
you
trying
like
to
a
keep
hug,
my lunch
Carrie?
down. Ooh, no, thank you. That's obviously been hugged by a lot of people.
A lot of hugging going on.
A lot
over
of
there.
hugging going on.
And, well, that's and I mean, I'm
All
being,
that
making
man.
light of that too. But that is a huge. My ex, Michaela, who's from Sweden, and she
Sweden?
was. Yes, and I mentioned that because I mean she's
Sweden?
been in the States now.
You
for,
say Sweden?
Okay. Sweden, yeah, sure. She's from Sweden. And you both know
I'm
her.
just
Mickey.
trying to provoke you.
You both know her. She's been in.
I've not met Mickey.
Oh, you haven't? You've never
No.
met Mickey?
She
I know.
is an amazing
I know. I've
woman.
never met her, but I know her through you, only through you.
She's my ex and probably my best friend.
I
Or
know.
at least one of
I
them.
met her before I met you.
Yeah, that's right. You did. And so now she's from Sweden. It's a very, very progressive country. I mean, for years she's had the upper hand, she's made me feel like I come from a primitive cave country. In terms of
Well,
health care.
you were kind of a primitive caveman at
Me
times.
not that primitive. That only comes when Igor starts to move into head.
And
Then I
who's
want to
Igor?
move in.
Igor's the guy
One
down
of-
there?
He's the guy sitting over at the other chair. No, that's
Down there is egret for him.
No, that's regret.
Egress?
That's regret down there.
Egress.
But she was so excited.
Awesome.
She was Michaela. She said, she's not an American. She's here on a green card. Through the mirrors. That's why she married me, was for the green card.
You
Damn
just
it.
figured that
I
out.
just now figured
that
out.
He's not
Oh
the
my
sharpest
gosh.
tool in
Anyway.
the shed.
So anyway, she was just saying she's so proud of this country about not only having the American Care Act. Also, it's not Obamacare. That was made up by conservatives as an insult and meant as an insult. And then freedom to marry whomever you love. So bravo.
Which was yesterday.
Bravo, America. Well done. Let's hope that the Supreme Court can become 6-3 or 7-2.
Are we getting
as
political?
opposed to- no, we're not. There's a couple of people in
I was
the Supreme
gonna
Court I
say
really
that
don't
would
like.
be a segue into the next break, but we're not going to do
No,
that
we're
yet.
not going to do that. Anything you want to know, honey.
Okay. What do you guys have done some stuff together. You've done some Shakespeare together.
We have. We met doing
We
Shakespeare
met
together.
doing Shakespeare.
Down in Laguna.
Down
Laguna
in Laguna.
Playhouse.
We met with me helping Carrie with her corset every
Look-
night in the.
No, my memory of meeting Jake is
very
I call him,
blurred.
not John. Not John.
Oh, I
That's
know.
Way
It's-
too proper.
yeah.
But meeting Jake was many years ago. What, 18 years ago?
It's
maybe?
been a while since
It
you
was
guys
at the
were
end of the
players.
19th century.
Yeah,
I know
somewhere in
that.
there.
It was before the
Was
Wright
it,
brothers.
Because you can't tell, but I'm almost 6 feet tall, and so Mr.
She's
6
way
feet
over 6
tall,
feet.
who met me backstage, you know, would come up, and he's used to being a tall
And grab
guy.
your ass.
And no, well, he would try, but he didn't know me well
kinda
enough to
get
do
on my
that. Luckily,
tiptoes,
I'm
yeah.
tall. I could intimidate him out of that. But he would just bounce up and down every time he stood next to me because he just could not handle the.
I
Like
could
being
handle
the
it.
same height. That was a concern for him, and that was my first memory of doing theater with Jake. Is that you were the guy like used to go because he was playing Oberon, you know, he was playing a macho dude, and he did not like the fact that Helena was, you know, eye to eye. That was not sitting well with him. But in spite of that, we persevered or persevered, as Shakespeare would say. I do persever.
You know,
and
sorry, excuse me,
we
Carrie.
became friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, in spite of the
Carrie and I mentioned that this morning. It was 22 years ago. It was 1993.
20.
And,
Woo!
and to segue from the fact that all of our friends and brothers and sisters, all of us, can marry whomever they want to now.
Yeah.
22 years ago, in 1993, it was a different thing. I would tell somebody I live in
for
Laguna Beach, and it was
sure.
assumed I was gay.
Exactly, because
Assumed.
it was.
And
there was
I remember
more
a
of
friend
gay
of mine
culture.
was actually a pretty good line because he said, Jake, he goes, you live in Laguna Beach and you're doing A Midsummer Night's Dream at the Laguna Playhouse. You're playing Oberon. You're playing the King of the Fairies, and you live in Laguna Beach.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a pretty good line.
So what happened to the Playhouse? Because there was a transition.
With the transition, but at the time that I met Carrie, there was a transition. It went professional, so I could work
Yeah.
there as an equity actor and get paid. And then a few years ago, when Andy left, it's still professional theater, but now they're bringing all the shows in. So
Exactly.
they're mounting full productions from the outside to save costs, et cetera, which is a shame
That's a
because a
bummer.
lot of local actors don't
That
have
is
a
a
place to
bummer.
work.
Yeah, I think it's a bummer. I thought it was a bummer when it went, quote, professional. I mean,
Yeah.
I know more professional actors
That are
who
better
aren't
act-
necessarily equity or
Exactly.
SAG or whatever, and it was a better playhouse, I think, when you could work, you know, equity or union actors alongside.
So what do we do
non-union.
that? We need another theater.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what?
I don't know.
You know what, Carrie? In 1977, I did a show at the Playhouse. It was a community theater, and I was a full member with South Coast Repertory. And they were kind of mad at me, the bosses, the powers that be, for going down to that community theater. You're a professional actor at South Coast Repertory. One of the best shows I've ever been in, and one of
Yeah.
the best directors I've ever worked with was at the Laguna Playhouse when it was, quote unquote, an amateur theater. Doug
Exactly.
Rao was no
Exactly.
amateur, the director. He
Right.
was as professional as
Yeah,
anybody I've ever met, you know.
Yeah, that distinction kind of
Kind of.
offends me, but yeah, it is what it is. I understand why it
So,
exists.
but it's all credential.
It's all, you know, based on whether you're in the union or not in the union, but I don't know that speaks to your talent.
No,
or your
exactly. That's what I was kinda
experience,
getting at.
That kind
Yeah.
of thing. So for that particular playhouse, because I have a long-standing love of Laguna, I've been
Exactly.
going there since I was a kid, and I've lived there for the last, 14 years, and I lived there in the mid-'90s. For me, my love of the Playhouse and what they were doing was back in that time when everything kind of mixed together.
Right.
Before it went, quote, professional, and then before they stopped producing shows and started bringing in boxed shows for
Right.
financial reasons. And
Well-
I understand that, but at the same time, we've got a wildly successful playhouse in SCR right up the road. There's plenty of room here to be successful, producing shows, I think. at
That's
that Playhouse.
That's what's interesting is that, and I think the same about visual artists, visual meaning painters or whatever. If you have an education as a painter, or
Right.
if you just have the creative
Right.
ability as a painter, and there's a lot of absolutely amazing artists that have never been to art school.
Right.
So it's
Right.
kind of the same thing. It doesn't mean it shouldn't take away from the talent that you have. So I don't
Yeah.
know if I agree with this
Well,
union.
I
You
know. Well, my
Speak up.
nephew is one of those. He's at one of the festivals in Laguna this summer. He was there last summer, and he's definitely one of those. He's a college graduate, but that's not in art. And
Yeah.
he's a self-trained guy, and he does amazing work. My mother is an artist. She's not necessarily professionally trained artist. She's just been painting for a lot of years, and then I think of shows that have started to recognize that. Like, So You Think You Can Dance, one of my favorite shows, right? Yeah. So now they've started to divide along. Oh, thank you, thank you.
Will be out in just a moment.
Fantastic, finally. But they've started to divide along stage and street, right? They've started to recognize that,
a lot-
especially in the world we live in,
there's a lot of talent on the street.
A lot of talent
Yeah.
that's formally trained, a lot of talent that's not
That's
formally
not
trained.
formally trained. And there shouldn't be, it shouldn't, Yeah, it should be one. I mean, it shouldn't be one or the other.
Right. I don't
Well,
think
it shouldn't be.
Well, I
shouldn't
think
be the
that
one.
the internet has leveled the playing field that way.
And that's a good thing. Okay.
You know,
Thumbs up for
and Carrie, I'm so glad you said all of that. And you started to, Pauline. I know we're going to go to a break in a second. I'll be real quick. But not only artists, some of the... But
I heard you're quick.
There are wonderful artists, of course, who were trained. I know a lot of artists who just, they could, for some, it was just innate. And it's the same with a lot of actors I've known who have no training, and they're wonderful. A lot of writers, a lot of poets.
Exactly.
You need a workshop. No, they don't.
Yeah.
Well, how did you learn to do that? Well, you know what? There's a thing called the muse, M-U-S-E, and it's all different for everybody. So maybe his muse has a spark that you just don't have. You can be overtrained, too.
We're going to, exactly, and we're going to talk more about that because this is a really interesting
Was I talking
subject.
too much?
She's taking us to
After
break.
this
The
break,
other thing I was gonna
we'll
say.
be right back.
So there I was. The lion was charging, and I only had one shot left in the gun.
Okay, so today we're going to get political. George Dubin to say something like that. Are you really wearing no pants? Where did your pants go?
Well, they just came off right before I came in.
Oh my God.
She knows I have 2 lives. One
Yeah,
is,
she has to go by an alias
I
because
go
of her
by-
opinions.
Yes, I do. She knows I go by an alias.
Any artist that is painting the figure, first of all, they're voyeurs. I don't care what they say.
I agree.
Art models, they bring a certain discomfort and sort of personal limitation to the thing.
You working
If you want to be a shock and be a person and be out there and be like, oh, fuck everybody and do this, excuse me for saying that, but it's, that's
So I'm going to have to leave.
I know, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's it.
Are you a heterosexual woman?
Yes, I am very much.
So you, no. So you understand how women want to be beautiful. Because I could be out there and I could turn it into some kind of sex fest or some kind of an ego fest or something just like that. Because the boundaries are so
Yes.
slight.
But
Vagina in your face, straight shot.
Where is that? Is that still at the Louvre?
we're going to the school, and I said, yeah, but they're looking at dicks and pussies all day long in the drawing classes, and you're going to not let this be.
Yeah, you.
I'm trying to wrap my head around the word dixdomities.
Is it the dick part?
I think it's the head part.
Welcome back to the Post Show. Okay, if you didn't get a chance, what was that ginormous sigh? Was it the champagne?
Yeah, I just finished taking a nice large gulp
Everybody knows that now.
and made the resounding.
Okay, anyway, what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. If you guys haven't had a chance to watch that political show, which is kind of crazy because politics is not my thing, believe me, but there are some very quirky, funny things with George Dubin. I'm just going to call her Tony Sky, though her name is Tchaikovsky. I don't remember. Anyway, Tony Sky, art model, and Linnea Linkus, celebrity photographer. It's a pretty funny show. You can find that at www.wetpuzzlepiece.com. I think that was the May archives, so check it out. Okay, we're going to talk more about, what we're going to talk about again? We were going to talk about this thing between being professional, professional.
Professional.
We's gonna call it professional for this show. Professional.
Finally, we're in the big time, Carrie. We're professionals.
Okay.
Professional.
See, I am not a professional artist. Actually, I've got paid, so I guess I'm a professional artist. But I've never been to art school. I've learned a lot about the line. I took interior design, so I know interior design. So we talk about line and texture and blah, 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 space and all that stuff, which is really relevant. Okay, but what I'm saying is formal art training not had. It's kind of my belief that maybe that's something that you have, and then schooling will enhance that, I think. There's some people that just want to do that and they go to art school to do that. Are they better than the guy that actually it's their passion and they didn't have the chance to go to art school? I don't really think so. I don't know. I don't think you have to go to art school or acting school or whatever, or writing school to have the passion and the ability to be creative. I think looking back, like I remember I started doing these sketches. So I'm doing these sketches. And then I watched this random video on how to sketch. I'm like, duh. But if I would have watched the video or maybe learned how to sketch first, I totally wouldn't have gotten it. It's kind of like doing it, maybe less, right? Don't you think it's more like actually maybe doing it?
I don't know. I think you're kind of commingling training and the word professional. I think there's always value in training.
Oh, there's always
value in learning more about your craft, whatever you're doing, right? And however you obtain that knowledge, whether it's in a classroom setting or whether it's through mentoring or through any other thing, I think that there's huge value in training. It makes you a better artist or a better actor or a better whatever you're going for. But I think to confuse training with being professional is where it gets a little muddy, you know,
right.
that or being in a certain union and being professional, where it gets a little muddy.
So that makes you like better because you're in a union, or
being having a certification and being a professional gets a little muddy. That's all I'm saying.
It's you know, and it's a really good subject, Polina. It's as if, you know, I'll tell people, oh, you're a poet. I'll go, yeah, and they go, are you published? As if I were to say no, I'm not published, then I would be less than a poet. And oh, you're an actor. You know, where are some of the places you've worked? Oh, I never heard of it. Oh, South Coast Repertory. That legitimizes me. Oh, you know, you're a painter. Where are you showing? What was your? Oh, you're not. Oh, so you're still an amateur on your way to being a professional. You haven't.
Right. I mean, there's definitely value in, you know, getting these kind of credentials.
Sure.
I'm not saying there's not, but does it make you any more or less of a creative individual that has an amazing voice and expression and something that somebody wants to see?
Does it make you stop in your tracks when you've had something that society justifies as success? Do you suddenly stop at, like, let's say 29 and go, I'm there, now I no longer need to paint
you know
or
what?
write?
There's never a there.
There's never
You're
a there.
never there. If you are a true creative, you're never there,
ever,
right?
Ever. Yep.
Okay, so that's a whole nother thing, right? And then there can be some people that, okay, I have all this training, now I am this rock star. I just am. Well, see, the true creative knows you'll never be there. You'll never be there.
Never.
Especially the people that say, I'm super smart.
You know what? Look at some of the musicians that we know just in Laguna Beach, where three of us live, in L.A. The world has never heard of.
Exactly.
And they're more brilliant than any band you can put in front of me. Or YouTube.
And we had a lot of those on spoken word,
That's right,
spoken song.
Did, indeed.
And okay, this is what I was going to say.
Who
before,
are you pointing at?
I'm pointing at all of our fans out there. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so. You can check out all of the, I'll say it, KX1 Laguna, which is no longer there.
It will be. It will rise again.
Yeah, but not XK. Anyway, spoken word, spoken song with John Gardiner and I. And we've had a lot of these absolutely amazing poets, novelists, musicians. We've had a million people.
We've had everybody.
That are super, super important and super talented from Laguna Beach, California. Yeah. And you can find all of those on www.wetpuzzlepiece.com, or there's a SoundCloud. You can just, if you Google Polina Hryn, you'll find that. And I think you're probably going to show up in a lot. Spoken word, spoken song, you'll see spoken word, spoken song, John Gardiner, Polina Hryn. So check those out. Those are really good.
I thought you cut me out of all of them pretty much. Both, you know.
Then there would be like an oh boy once in a while. No. So check those out.
They're awesome.
Okay.
They're awesome. You guys were awesome. It was a great show.
And a lot of those were Laguna
Carrie
Beach.
And Nancy Jane, by the way, who couldn't join us today.
Damn you, Nancy Jane.
I know. She said, rain check, please. Rain check. And I
told her, check?
I said, maybe. Do you realize that the PO Show has several billion viewers? She is amazing. So, in other words, hint, hint. We'll do it again. We'll do anything. We'll
We'll
strip
totally
naked.
do it again.
We'll make love on the table. We'll do anything for you. I will do
You and Nancy
anything
Jane?
to be. Of course.
Does she know about
and
this?
Carrie.
No, she doesn't. Does anyone ever know about this?
Well, I'll tell her
Mr.
I'll tell her
Gardner.
when she comes into the room and say there's been a slight change.
And-
She's an actress. She
and
adapts.
she'll go for it,
And she'll
baby.
go for it.
Go for it, baby.
I'll just tell her, think of me as being a doctor.
She is
just
much
doing a
more
brief.
accommodating of our friend than I am.
I'm a professional doctor doing a professional examination.
A professional?
Professional. That's right, baby. I've been on the PO Show.
It was before it was the PO Show. Oh, you have been now.
I have not heard you say "oh boy" even once.
Oh, boy.
There we go.
Here we go. Here we go.
I just
Okay.
wanted one of those. So
Okay.
what do you want to talk about?
What do
Anything
you want to talk about? You
You're
want to talk more about this subject?
Yeah, and I want
think
to
it's
just talk
important.
about sex.
Okay, you know what? We can always talk. That's an open subject. Anybody could talk about that. Well, maybe not anybody. Okay, what was I going to say? I was
More
going to say something.
about being a professional or amateur.
Oh, you know what else? Okay, what sparked? Of course, this is not a scripted show, as you guys can see, because I have no idea what I'm going to say next.
I do. Can I say something then first?
No.
Okay. Was I talking too much?
Yes.
Yes.
Way too much?
Yes. Far too much.
Can I say something now?
No. Okay. What
Just
I was
double checking.
what I was going to say is that this brings us kind of to the arts in schools, which I am so pro for. Yes, because that is how we find out if any of this interests us as a child. We find out if we're good at this. If, oh, wow, I like to sing.
Yep.
I love to act. Oh my gosh, I'm actually really enjoying this paintbrush. I can draw. Oh my gosh, I can actually draw better than anybody in the class. I didn't even know I could. You will never know if you can do anything creative unless you try to do something creative, and that's what they're taking out. So it's my belief there's bazillions of people in the world that have no idea they have this amazing creative ability. I know actually that from experience, not that I have amazing creative ability, but I do know there's things I didn't know that I could do. I didn't know that I was capable of some of this creative stuff that I do. I had no idea, and I wouldn't. I was a very shy child, and I was not in a very good childhood atmosphere at all. But still, when I got older and I started doing some of these things, I thought, wow, oh my gosh, you know what? If I kept doing this, I could probably really do this probably pretty well because I really like to do this. And the more I do it, the better I get. So
I'm going to say something about that.
Well, wait, we
because
got to give a caveat on that because
Okay.
you have kids, but I don't
Yes.
have kids, and our friend John does not have,
well,
have children that he
the-
knows
he has
of.
many
He
children.
doesn't
He has
have
no
children
idea
that he
who they
knows
are.
of,
I'm going
or
to,
what schools they may
I'm
be
going
in.
to take that caveat away because of what I was going to say.
But you do teach
I just spent
children.
3 weeks at a grammar school, K through 6, with 2 professors. They were coming in the
Is that
morning.
over?
We didn't get fired. We just sort of came to an end because we weren't of enough help. And it was K through 6. We had a science teacher and a math teacher in the morning, and then another professor and myself doing language arts in the afternoon. We went over and over and over the Common Core standards, California State standards for K through 6. We're university professors.
UCI.
University, UCI, yeah. And so we're there. Oh, they're going to have a lot of great ideas. We both had a lot of great ideas. A lot of my ideas for the arts and for young kids are with my imagination. My imagination doesn't fit what the Common Core standards say, and the
that's a problem.
teachers have to fit that.
That's a problem.
It's a huge problem.
You know what? It's a problem because what we need right now, and this is.
Whoa,
What
I
was
guess
that?
we do need that.
It was the
'cause
PO
that's-
Show. That's because I said we
The
need.
PO Show fall
The
down!
PO Show said we need more arts.
It
It was
agreed.
agreeing with us.
Yes.
We'll take it as an affirmation.
Okay, we're going to fix that. Okay, so anyway, what was I saying? Now I forgot
What
I
we
was
need right now.
Oh, well, I forgot.
What the world needs now is love,
Not
sweet
in
love.
Common Core.
Not in Common Core. We need more arts in the schools. We need more freedom for young kids to just be themselves rather than have to pass a test that's mandated.
No, we definitely know. We're gonna go to a break.
Oh,
That's what we're
that's
gonna do,
what I figured. That's
and
it.
then I'll catch where I left off.
We're going to break on
See you
that.
soon. Welcome back to the PO Show, Hollywood, California. I saw you, Mikey. Mikey's here. Mike Zinna. Okay. Anyway, he walked by. Mikey is the owner of T Radio E. Yay, Mikey.
Yay.
Okay. So what were we saying? We fixed this.
We fixed it. The PO Show
PO
lives.
Show, PO Show. Okay. We were talking about education and the arts in education. And one thing I wanted to bring up is that you know they've been taking all of the arts out of the curriculum, right? Little by little and more. But the thing is right now in time, I found my place. This is the time when we need to think outside of the box because what's been working for years is not working anymore. So this is when we need the creative mind to get us out of this amazing rut that we've gotten ourselves into. And learning more math is not going to do it because math is the same. No matter how you cut it, it's still the same. The answer is always the same. It's either specific or it's infinite. Okay, so we're going to go from there.
I think we need math and I think we need arts.
We totally need math. That's not what I'm getting at. We don't just need math because then we're like these little hamsters on a wheel, right? We're just fitting into society and there's no reason to live because we have no arts.
Yeah, well, and what I'm guessing where you're going with this, where I would go with this is that that's all great. We've covered a lot of things, but what we're not covering anymore is the arts. So we're saying all that's important, all the things we've kept in, but these other things, they're kind of like disposable. They're kind of like,
you know what's interesting? It's the whole right brain.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Like
let's just concentrate on the left.
Not so important.
For years, I've been proctoring the PSAT and the PRA. That's just the pre-SAT.
Yes.
And the PRA is the combination of the SAT and the ACT, and almost all of the takers of this test over and over again are kids. A lot of them are not even in high school yet. And I'll talk with their parents, and it's test, and even with math and science, you will read, America is now 37th in science and math, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And so we're going to fix that by testing. And then we'll give another test.
You know what? I don't believe that's the answer because believe it or not, everybody out there, I study the brain. I know that's ridiculous because I'm not really smart, but the brain is fascinating because the more you tap into creative side, the more it actually adds to your left brain. So it's completely all relevant. So yeah, take the whole creative side out of the equation and you're gonna be raising a lot of idiots because we need both sides to be working together and you need to use your creativity to boost your other side, to boost your logical. They go hand in hand.
I think
we need to honor people who have different talents. We need to honor our scientists and our mathematicians and honor our artists. And we do that by educating them.
But those scientists and mathematicians, they're not just going by their left brain.
Right.
I mean,
no, they're not.
They're totally not. Some of the smartest men ever to walk the planet, and women.
Einstein, at the end of his life, said, lo and behold, I've discovered that my imagination was more important than knowledge all along.
Perfect
and
example.
Who wrote in defense of a liberal education? He's a doctor. It's a hot book now. I mean, it's a very popular. It gives validity to this, topic. People are writing about it. Very prominent people, and it is this idea of in defense of developing the whole person. The idea being the liberal education being more of a whole person approach.
The author of that was Fareed Zakaria.
Yeah,
right.
Zachariah.
That's right, exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and this is one of the reasons for this show. It's to elevate the creative culture. It's not just for the starving artists. It's because we need this as an entire society. The whole world needs this. Right. We need both right brain, left brain. We need to be creative. You can't cut that out. And some people, like I said, we're on this hamster wheel going around and around, working for the man. You know what? That's not a quality of life. We must be creative.
No, and you can't be told, he didn't get a very good grade on the test. When are you giving the next test? The next practice test, you'll get a higher score. And I'm thinking Saturday morning, your child's 10. He should be outside playing soccer and then maybe playing piano or doing something creative or drawing.
Yeah.
But
the problem goes deeper
another
too,
test.
in that how we educate people, because people learn differently, right?
Absolutely.
But our education
we know that from Laguna.
Right, we do.
Yeah, we sure
but our
do.
education system is only set up to teach in one way toward one type of student who learns in a specific way.
It's getting better in
it's
Laguna
getting better,
anyway.
But we don't have trade schools.
No.
We don't. When you get out of your general education, we don't send those who really our tradesmen and craftsmen and artisans. We don't send them off to trade schools and then send our, scientists and others off to a more traditional
Russia
university
does.
education.
Yeah.
Just
but
saying.
we don't. We
Well,
don't.
you know what?
China does, right?
I was taken out of school in the 3rd grade so that I could work in the coal mines for the next 10 years, in the Ozarks to help
I knew
keep
this
the
would
family
take a
going.
turn.
And somehow or another, deep
I'm just impressed it didn't take a turn earlier.
in the
That's
pits
awesome.
of the coal mines,
Armpits.
I learned foreign languages. I learned Shakespeare, and I learned poetry.
Did you do
By
that by the
lamplight.
lamp of your head?
Yes, by the lamp.
Your headlamp.
By the
With your
headlamp.
complete works
The
of Shakespeare.
the dusty headlamp.
It's
The
fantastic.
dusty old
reflecting
headlamp.
off
It's very
the tired,
Shakespearean.
coal besmirched faces
Yes.
of my
Okay, you know what?
coworkers.
I'm so tired of hearing you talk about that. I want you to read from that book.
Yes.
I'm going to read a poem for L.A.
From Los Angeles.
Well, I was born in L.A. Who else can say that in this room?
Me.
Not me.
I was born at a hospital in Los Angeles.
That's right, you were.
Okay, so show everybody the book that you're holding, or that you're holding, because you're not holding it yet. Okay, this is a book by John Gardiner.
Well, this is a very short poem.
Infamous.
It's a poem that
Poet.
Los Angelinos will appreciate the way anybody in California.
Los Angelinos.
Los Angelinos.
Ugh, that
La
sounds
ciudad de Los
beautiful.
Angeles. Crossing the street. Pedestrians. Traffic. Crossing the street in Laguna Beach.
Oh, you're doing it for Laguna, though.
Crossing the street
that's
in Los
true. It
Angeles.
makes sense, yeah,
Crossing the
okay.
street in Hollywood.
But you know what the thing is?
Crossing the street in San Francisco.
The thing is about the people that are crossing the street in Los Angeles, they don't give a shit. They're going to cross the street.
Same in
That's
New York
Laguna
City.
too.
Right?
Actually.
Well, but Laguna, then they get moved over, and it's a whole different thing. It's not like people trying
It's
to cross
not a
the street
big
and like-
city thing, right? Yeah, I agree.
It's different. I mean, in Laguna Beach, it's the vulnerability lies in the pedestrian. Here, it lies actually in the driver. To say, okay. Anyway, so
Well, this is very specific about this particular pedestrian,
Yes.
who's me, and almost did get picked up. Crossing the street in any urban city. Thank you for not killing me in the metal-grilled crosshairs of your monstrous SUV as I cross the street cautiously, in full view, in daylight, in the crosswalk, where I thought I had a lawful right to be, and indeed once did, in a different, slower world, when I could meander and even take a peek upward at a trail of pelicans, or outward at a glorious pod of dolphins. But now I must deal with the likes of you, as you fight for space, wrecking the world with anger and the awful weight of your toys. So that's for city dwellers.
depressing.
I don't think so.
No, it's
No.
kind of funny.
No, it's not.
I
It's
think
just-
I find it very humorous. I mean, you read it very seriously.
I did
but
read it seriously
There is a
because
very
I'm in Los
humorous
Angeles.
aspect to it. You
Los
know?
Angeles is
Yeah.
a serious city here. Paulina told us to be serious.
Oh,
I don't think I said that at all. I don't think I've ever said that to
We can't be
anybody.
cartoon characters from Laguna Beach.
Woody Woodpecker. There you go. Okay, where can we see you? Facebook.
Huh?
John Gardiner. Where can we see there? The show is ending. Where can we see you?
It's right here on the Po Show.
The Po Show. Or John Gardiner with an I. How do you spell your name? J-O-H.
Gardiner. It's John Gardiner from Dublin, Ireland. Happy to be here. And you need to go out and get some proper Guinness start instead of this fucking shit champagne, no offense meant.
Okay, Carrie, where can we find you?
oh, I don't know, all around. No specific place, but you know, you can find me on Facebook.
Harbor Boulevard between midnight and 6 a.m. walking.
Fantastic.
Okay. Scratch all of that. You can find anybody that's ever been on the show or will be on the show
Yes.
at www.wetpuzzlepiece.com. All the social media is on there. You can find Spoken Word, Spoken Song on SoundCloud. You can find my YouTube channel. You can find Twitter. What else? Facebook. Instagram. Check it all out. You can find archives from all of the shows here and all of the shows on, like I said, Spoken Word, Spoken Song. Check it out. Don't go away. See you not next week. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th
next
of July,
week,
yeah.
we'll see you on the 11th with Scotch Witchman. See you soon.
You are watching T-Radio Me. Radio and TV.